Welcome back to my channel, everyone. After my last video on automatically generating a sequence of letters up to ZZ in Excel, many of you asked, what about after ZZ? Well, you asked and I'm here to answer. So today I'm going to explore how to automatically extend the sequence of letters beyond ZZ using a clever formula. Before we begin, I'll give you a brief overview of my tutorial on this very same topic, in which I explained how to generate the AA, AB, AC, AD up to ZZ sequence in Excel. And the formula I used for that is currently displayed on the screen. I explained this formula in my previous video on this topic. If you haven't watched that video, the link is available in the description box. And as you can see, this formula generates the sequence of letters leading to ZZ. Now, the problem with this formula is that the sequence ends at ZZ. That is, once we reach ZZ, it's going to restart at AA again. And I'll show you what I mean by that. I'm going to scroll down until I reach ZZ. Okay, here it is. So you can see at this point we reached ZZ. And immediately after ZZ, the formula returns AA. And that's not what we want. So many of you reached out, said, okay, what if we want to extend this beyond ZZ? That is, after ZZ, we want to get AAA, for example, and then AAB, etc., etc., in a way that we're able to drag this down as much as we want without restarting again. That's what many of you requested, and that's what I'm going to cover in this video. That said, the formula which is currently displayed on the screen right now will give us exactly what we want. That is, this formula will auto-generate sequences of letters beyond ZZ. And I'll explain how this formula works in a few moments. But before that, let's verify that the formula indeed works correctly. So I applied the formula in cell A1 and I dragged it down. And let's see how it works. So it's working correctly as of now. Let's see what happens after we reach ZZ. So I'm scrolling down until I reach ZZ and see what happens. There we go. We have ZZ in row 702, and immediately in the next row we have AAA, and then AAB, AAC, AAD, and that's exactly what we want, and this formula is helping us achieve that. And let's just keep on going down to see what we get. There we go. It gets extended as much as we want, and that's exactly what we wanted, and that's what we're achieving using this formula. Now that I've applied the formula, I'm going to briefly explain how it works. So if you're interested in knowing how this formula works, make sure you stick around. So this formula consists of three parts. The first part generates the A to Z part, and that's in this first line over here. So this first line, what it does is it covers the first 26 rows, giving you single letters from A to Z. So the part that I just showed you, that is the first line, gives us letters from A to Z. That is this part over here. So that's the first line. And it uses the ASCII values. That is, for example, when we have A, the ASCII value is 65. That's why I put 65 over here. And adds the current row number minus 1. So that explains this part over here. That said, if you're in row 1, you get A. If you're in row 2, you get B, and so on up to Z. So that's what this first row of formula over here does. The second part of the formula creates the AA to ZZ portion. Formula is this section over here. This formula kicks in after Z, and it covers the next levels from AA all the way up to ZZ. And this part of the formula basically divides the row numbers -1 by 26 to find the set. Then it finds the position within the set for the first letter. The second letter uses the remainder of that division, that is the modulus. For example, row 27 over here would yield AA, as both the set and the position are at the start. So that's the second part of the formula. And the last and final part of the formula handles the AAA to ZZZ and beyond. And this is the part of the formula highlighted over here. And what this does is, this is designed for sheets with massive amounts of data, generating triple letter columns starting from AAA. And that begins from right over here at row 703. And here's how this third line of formula works. It first calculates how many sets of 676 rows there are to determine the first letter, similar to figuring out buildings in a complex. Then it calculates which floor we are on, that is, by using sets of 26, as is indicated over here, for the second letter, and the exact room, so to speak, the row position, for the third letter. And that's how we're able to get the sequence of AAA through ZZZ and beyond. Now, if this sounds a little bit too complex, don't worry, you don't have to understand it. You can just apply this formula and you'll get your sequence beyond ZZZ as desired. And that's how it works. I hope you found this explanation and this tutorial useful. If you did, make sure to give this video a thumbs up. Also, if you're new to my channel and you haven't subscribed already, make sure to subscribe and also turn on notifications so you won't miss out on my next videos. That's all for today. Bye now.